Good afternoon. My name is Kim Newton, and I am the Vice President of HR. I would like to welcome you to the Management Training Refresher, Do You Know the Law? Our session today will focus on employment laws you will likely remember discussing when you attended management training shortly after moving into your management role. With the uptick in hiring and some recent concerns raised by employees, I thought it would be a good time for us to spend some time together reviewing employment laws that directly impact your day-to-day interactions with employees. Feel free to ask questions as we move through the presentation. While there are quite a few employment laws, today we will focus on those most relevant to your roles as manager since you work directly with our employees. We will also identify the federal agencies responsible for oversight. A variety of topics will be discussed, and your understanding is critical not only to protect the company, but to ensure our employees' rights are not violated. Examples of potential violations will be shared throughout the presentation to reinforce learning. Our objectives are to strengthen your understanding of the employment laws relevant to your role, discuss expectations for compliance, and to also identify resources available to assist you. Since January, many of you have partnered with HR in the hiring of new employees, and in some instances, you even provided input on who should be selected for interviews. It's important for you to understand the broad protection provided under Title VII of the Civil Rights Act of 1964. According to the EEOC, the federal agency responsible for enforcing the law, Title VII prohibits employment discrimination based on race, color, religion, sex, and national origin. It's important to note protection is provided for applicants and employees. An example of a violation is deciding, we have enough women employed with the company, so you just decide you will not consider selecting any qualified women from the applicant pool. This decision can bring the company's hiring practices into question, and is behavior we need to avoid. Continuing the conversation around discrimination and protection provided to both applicants and employees, let's review the Age Discrimination in Employment Act of 1967. As you can see, according to the Department of Labor, the law protects applicants and employees 40 years of age and older. Protection ranges from hiring to promotion, discharge, and pay, but it also includes protection from harassment in the workplace. So, for example, regularly suggesting an older employee should retire could possibly be a violation under the law. Therefore, we need to make sure these conversations are not taking place amongst managers or employees. This behavior is inappropriate and can warrant investigation by the EEOC. So unlike the previously discussed laws, the Family and Medical Leave Act, commonly referred to as FMLA, covers employees. This is a law you probably are most familiar with. So per the Department of Labor's website, this law provides protection for eligible employees to take up to 12 weeks of leave in 12 months. Some of the qualifying events are the birth of a child, treatment for chronic illnesses, and even to care for an active duty military member, just to name a few. FMLA is an area of concern for HR as managers don't always exhibit understanding and can easily violate this law. Our employees' most common use of FMLA is intermittent leave, which can be a little challenging to manage. So it's important for you as leaders to recognize signs of abuse, such as employees regularly using leave on Mondays and Fridays, or consistently using FMLA leave around holidays. While the law does protect the employees, we do have the right to address these issues. But with that said, managers run the risk of violating the law when attempts are made to discipline employees for use of protected leave. It's important for you to work closely with HR to manage these absences to ensure we are not violating employees' rights. The Department of Labor provides oversight, and their website has extensive information regarding FMLA. I strongly encourage you to review the website for further understanding and to reach out to your HR representative for assistance. Moving on to the Americans with Disabilities Act. Title I of the ADA provides protection for both applicants and employees. So there's a theme here. A lot of these laws are covering both applicants and employees. The EEOC is the enforcing agency, and the website outlines instances where protection is provided for qualified disabled individuals, starting with job application procedures. This is important because many of you have assisted in the hiring process. The law defines a qualified employee or applicant as someone who can perform the essential functions of the job with or without a reasonable accommodation. To help you better understand accommodations in the hiring process, the website used the example of a deaf applicant. Maybe they need a sign language interpreter during an interview. This is not a difficult request, but we need to make sure that we are asking qualified applicants that are disabled if they need an accommodation. Also, another point I wanted to discuss was due to increased performance management of employees, I want to make sure you are aware that we should ensure we are asking employees if they need an accommodation to do their jobs. Failure to ask this question could possibly lead to a violation of the law if we were to eventually terminate an employee for not meeting expectations. Again, I urge you to work closely with HR and to familiarize yourself with the law. The EEOC website has a list of examples to further assist in your understanding of the ADA. The Equal Pay Act is enforced by the EEOC, and it prohibits sex-based wage discrimination between men and women in the same company working similar jobs under similar working conditions. This is another law that directly impacts your role. Since our company has a pay-for-performance structure, performance is the focus of our end-of-year consensus for employees. You all lead teams where men and women are doing the same job. While they were higher at the same salary, there is still opportunity for non-compliance of the law during the merit increase process. Therefore, it is imperative that you have sufficient documentation to support recommended pay increases. You should be in a position to confidently speak on and provide evidence of the job duties all of your employees perform to ensure we are not discriminating against employees during the merit process. Again, your compliance in this area is crucial. If you have any questions, please reach out to HR to discuss your specific situation. The Occupational Safety and Health Administration falls under the U.S. Department of Labor and enforces the Occupational Safety and Health Act. So the primary focus for this law is to ensure employees are safe on the job. So this should not come as a surprise to you, but the safety of our employees is a priority. But I'm sure compliance with OSHA may not necessarily be at the forefront of your minds, not as it would if you were managing employees maybe working in a factory type environment. However, I wanted to focus on the last bullet, which is unsanitary conditions, and specifically talk about restrooms and sanitation requirements under OSHA. HR has received a few calls from employees who are concerned managers are so focused on productivity that they are afraid to go to the restroom. What you need to know as managers is we are required to allow employees to use the restroom when needed. According to the OSHA website, employers are to avoid imposing unreasonable restrictions on restroom use. I am very concerned that employees feel this way. While we have not had anyone directly say they were denied the opportunity to use the restroom, the fact that employees feel uncomfortable taking a restroom break is unacceptable. Please note that HR will investigate any complaints. The purpose of reviewing this law today is to ensure you are aware of the employee's rights and our responsibilities under OSHA. We've covered a lot of laws, but they are all relevant to your role. Therefore, we're now going to talk about management expectations. The first is that you are expected to adhere to these laws with no exceptions. You are also expected to ensure employees are aware of their rights as you address performance concerns. You're also expected to contact HR if you have questions regarding these laws and any workplace issues you're dealing with. You are also required to immediately report to HR any employee or management violations of these laws. I know we discussed several laws today, and the information may have been a little overwhelming. However, resources are available to assist you. Human resources should be your first point of contact if you have any questions regarding employee issues, and especially those tied to the laws we discussed today. Also, while we covered multiple laws, there really are only two federal agencies I talked about today that are responsible for enforcing those laws, and they are the Department of Labor and the Equal Employment Opportunity Commission. Their websites have a plethora of information to assist in understanding the laws that we covered today. However, as previously mentioned, HR is here to help. Thank you for your time today. It was a pleasure spending the afternoon with you. I know we covered a lot of information, but please feel free to reach out if you have any questions regarding today's training. Again, thank you and have a great day.